Hello. My name is Armin, aka GuitArmin, and I'm not really sure what this video is gonna be about, but I'm just gonna talk and I'm gonna teach. I notice people are so overwhelmed by improvising, okay? Which I was too. I'm not overwhelmed today, I feel. Most of the time, I feel quite comfortable today. Where I am right now in my life, I feel quite comfortable where I am in my playing. I know that I have stuff that I have to get better on. Of course I do. I mean, thinking otherwise would just be, you would be a fraud if you would think that you don't have anything to work on. Even the greatest of the greatest aren't happy with their playing. I remember a couple of years ago, feeling that I wasn't good enough wasn't fun. So it's just, you kind of have to change that perception too. When you're sitting down practicing something, you might get a thought, no, I should practice that. Oh, I should practice that. And that scale, and that thing, and that tune. And then you don't get good at anything because your brain is just full of million stuff that you have to practice. So you have to narrow it down, all right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna narrow it down. So we've something that I've talked about a lot is major 7 arpeggios. So that's one thing, all right? Step 1, major 7 arpeggios, okay? Why I say that is because they're if you want to play jazz, if you want to play jazz guitar, if you don't know major 7 arpeggios, then you're not going to play good. You're not going to play melodic. It's not going to happen because this, you need to have it. Look at any Charlie Parker theme. It has, and then it goes. So, you see that? Major 7 arpeggio. You want to know the major 7 arpeggio, okay? So that's an easy thing. Easy thing to just, okay, put your mind into learning the major 7 arpeggio over the neck. And then you do. So you go the whole neck. So do the whole neck, do it in the circle of 4s, do it whatever you want. You can find the notes, okay? So I'm not really gonna sit and teach you the notes. I just wanna make a video about the stuff that's, I feel, where I am right now, feels important, okay? So that's just something that I feel is very important. Major 7 arpeggio, okay? So, okay? Having an A major 7 arpeggio, okay? A major 7 arpeggio over a 2-5-1 in E major, right? Oh, sorry about that, Lydian. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's, it's always gonna be there. Right? And if you look at it, that's a major 7, or that's an A major 7 arpeggio over F sharp minor 7. But it's also just an F sharp minor 9 arpeggio. So that's what you want to learn. You want to do this enough to see the connections, right? So A major 7 is the same as F sharp minor 9, right? See F sharp minor 9 with A in the bass? Because A major 7, right? So knowing that, you can use that, right? get that together and you'll see a lot of stuff becomes much easier in jazz improvisation, because guess what? All of it is just 2-5-1s. If you can get used to C major 7 arpeggio over A minor, trust me on that one, okay? So major 7 arpeggios, very good. And then you want to practice your ears, okay? So that's the next thing. You want to practice your ears. The best thing for that, what I feel you could do, depends on where you are. Honestly, depends on where you are in your playing. Sometimes the best thing is to practice intervals, to really like put a drone and just practice the different intervals, right? You can do it with the major scale. Just do that a lot. Really get to know the chord tones. Okay, so that's how I would like you to practice your ears. Get to know all the chord tones of, let's say you have an A major 7. Get to know that major 7. So get to know that emotion, okay? Not just intellectually. That's a major 7 because it's a major 7 interval. No, you're thinking with your intellectual mind. Music is more than intellectual. It's feeling, it's emotion, it's spirit, okay? You gotta feel with your spirit, what that major 7, what's that emotion? All right? If you can't feel the emotion, you're not gonna have good ears, okay? So your ears is much about what the emotion is. So you do that with all the different notes, even with the 9. So you do different exercises approaching the different. All right, you put that A. You try to hear what they sound. You try to hear what's that. What memories do you get from the 9th, right? From your life. What memories do you get? And you do different things to. I don't know. So different things that approach the different notes. Do that as an exercise, okay? Not only do you get good ears, you get phrases, right? Because you have to think about what phrases can you do. 9th. And then you do it with 5th. So you do that enough, you get friends with the chord tones, okay? That's what I call this. And not only that, you want to hear stuff from the recording. If you can do that, good enough. If you practice this and you also you listen to one thing every day that you're going to transcribe from Spotify, okay? One song per day. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a tune, if it's a phrase. Activate those ears every day and you will see progress fast, okay? Activate those ears every day. That's what I have to say, okay? Whatever it is, transcribe children tunes, transcribe whatever. Listen, use your ears, try to hear. Can you hear the bass? Can you hear how it moves? Can you hear a phrase and hear in your head how are you gonna play it? Get to that point, okay? And so now we have major 7 arpeggio, we have ears, which involves chord tones and transcribing from the recording, okay? So that's that, and then we'll also, one thing that I also like is, I guess, scales is gonna be good when you also practice your ears. So when you combine scales with practicing your ears, that's the best thing, because then you'll kind of hear, right? So when you hear stuff that is major 7, when it's stuff on the recordings that are like major scale, you're gonna hear it, right? So it's like, what I'm trying to say is, you're not just gonna practice scales. No, that's not how you want to sit. You want to transcribe stuff from the recordings, and then you want to connect what you transcribe to that scale. Most of the stuff it is, right? It's always from a scale, but that's how you will learn. All right? So you don't just sit with scales. You can do that. It's important to sit to learn the notes, right? Just sitting like that, right? Learn the fretboard, like, there's nothing wrong with sitting like that, but if that's all you do, then you're not going to get good at playing. You want to have that, you want to practice the scale with the music, okay? That's what I'm trying to say, okay? You want to have the music and you want to have the scale too. So always connect it to music, because that's how you will get good. If you can practice music every day, because that's what we're doing. Don't ever forget that you're gonna play music. You're not gonna sit and play scales. Like, you need to. I don't care what anybody says. You need to practice the stuff that's gonna benefit you when you play this music. Okay, you're playing jazz music. You're not playing. And I don't care if people are like, but I just want to practice sitting by myself at home. All right, do that. But I mean, then just do whatever you want. The tradition of this music is we play with other people. So whenever you learn something cool, you have to apply it to a situation. It's like we always have to learn to use it in a 2-5-1, to understand it, to be able to go on, okay? So it's like, and that's what I want to say is, like, do that with one thing at a time. So do not like rush and, I'm gonna get these 15 licks in my playing tomorrow. No, get that one phrase, understand that one phrase, and the next phrase will be even easier, and then you will just accumulate stuff, okay? So that was a phrase that I really like. Landing on the 5th, right? And that's just using that same major 7 arpeggio from the 3rd of the minor. And I sat with that phrase a lot. I wanted to hear it everywhere. I wanted to sit with it everywhere, okay? Different situation, different. And that's what I'm gonna do later, okay? I'm gonna have one phrase. So it's like all about learning a phrase and then do more stuff with the phrase. Right? Mix it up, do stuff, you change it up. Don't be afraid to change stuff up. And yeah. So that's basically the next thing. You just learn stuff, you learn phrases, and you mix them up. You make them into your own. You sit with one thing enough so it inspires you to do different things, right? Sit with a backing track and test that thing out. And even like the most important thing also is to just go play with people, go jam with your friends, go jam with them, record yourself, listen to yourself. It's gonna hurt, but you gotta do it. Listen to yourself playing. What is your playing lacking? And also, you can also be nice to yourself, saying, what do I like about my playing? What do I don't like? Like, you can hear anything, like everything. You can hear even your technique, like what do you want to get better at? Ask those questions when you listen to yourself. Record yourself practicing. Practice, record yourself, ask yourself, what do I like? What do I don't like? How can I sound like that? How can I sound like I want to sound like? And the best thing to know how you want to sound like is to obsess over a guitar player or saxophone player, whatever. It's easier if it's a guitar player, I think, because I can relate as to how he does stuff on the guitar. For me, it's Peter Bernstein. I don't know, like, if that works for everybody. It works really well for me to obsess over one guitar player that I can use, or because that makes, for me, it makes it more real as to how I want to sound like when it comes to all the different things that has to do with guitar, comping, playing melodies, right? When you play a melody, do you have a sound in your ears that you're hearing? It's like you have to have some form of, you can't just, the best thing is to have somebody that you can look up to and try to visualize yourself being that person when you're playing, because it's a wonderful experience too. Right? How do you play this tune now again? So it's it's about playing melodies like your heroes. Okay, so visualize your hero when you play. Have a hero that you look at. I mean, I've been obsessing over this music so long right now, and what I did was that when I went by train, when I went by whatever, I went to some places. I watched videos. I watch videos about when Peter Bernstein plays because I love it. I want to obsess. I want to get better. So I watch him play. When I was working part-time, on my breaks, I watch Peter Bernstein play. I watch the people, I listen to the music. It's like that's how we get better, right? That's how we get better. We listen and we understand, and then our body reacts. It wants to create the same thing when you go to play. But if you don't listen, if you don't put your effort into learning the music, your body won't know what it's gonna create when you play. It's like you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna get overwhelmed. You're not sure what you're gonna do. In the end, it's like, can you play a tune and make it sound good? Right? So it's like, can you play? The answer is in the tunes too. If you can play the tune, if you can play a jazz standard so it sounds good with good time and improvisation, and you can comp, then what more you don't need anything more. If you can do that well and you can hear it too, and you can hear the next standard and you can play it, that's where you want to be. And it's not more difficult than that. It takes time, but know what you're aiming for and and you'll be fine. All right? So something like that. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever you have. Now I gotta go search for a part-time job because I don't have any money. All right. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.